Super Bowl 60, Seahawks, Patriots, rematch from 10 years ago. I'm excited. You're excited. Everybody's excited. It's Super Bowl week. Come on. Welcome into the show, everybody. If you are new here, subscribe down below and then follow at Ian Fritts Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as well. This week is kind of interesting to me. I'm not sure how hyped up this Super Bowl is. There's a lot of talk going around. I'm not sure everybody's super excited to see this matchup, and maybe that's because of the quarterback battle, which we will get into later on in the video. That you don't have the super high profile guys. Yes, I know Drake May, finalist for the MVP. I get that, but he is not Matthew Stafford, folks. Okay, he's not that big of a name yet. He's gonna get there. He's gonna get there, ladies and gentlemen. He is gonna get there, but he's not there yet. Okay, in terms of name and bringing people to watch a Super Bowl. But the Patriots, they'll bring people to watch a Super Bowl with what they've done the last 25 years. Cannot believe they're back into the Super Bowl after what they had with Belichick those last couple years. 3-14, 3-14. And we're in the Super Bowl? Okay, they got 17 wins this year. 17! More than any other team. Yeah, even more than the Seahawks because they were the 1 seed. Unbelievable stuff from the Patriots to turn this thing around with Mike Vrabel at the helm. Maybe that dude goes down as one of the greatest head coaches of all time if he were to win this Super Bowl. And then maybe win 1 or 2 more. Yes, I know that's a big ask to win 1 or 2 more Super Bowls. But, hey, if he wins this one, it's all in front of the Patriots. Their roster's only going to get better from where they have right now. You look at who they got on the offensive side of the football, you're thinking, this could possibly be a Super Bowl winning offense. And you just laugh. You just laugh because the dudes are not dudes, okay? It's kind of similar to the Seahawks, except they have JSN, maybe the best receiver in all of the NFL. But you look at the Patriots and you're thinking, what? We're working with Stephon Diggs in year 10. Okay, then we got Kayshon Boutte. Boutte is our best receiver so far in the playoffs. Look, he was going to be a highly touted guy coming in the draft, then he didn't pan out. Now he's starting to play a little better, but that's your second option at the receiver position, and yet you can win a Super Bowl. Yeah, the Patriots team's only going to get better after this season. Would not shock me at all for them to have their best year in like 2 years with this roster they have and with Vrabel at the helm, okay? Seahawks-wise, you got Sam Darnold, okay? He did lead the lead in turnovers this year, but he also led you to a 14-3 record. He led you to the Super Bowl with the performance he had in the championship game. And a lot of that championship game, in my mind, a lot of that performance, it is kind of in people's minds about how well they think Sam Darnold is going to play in this football game. That in my mind is like a leading candidate as to why Seahawks are going to win this football game. So, well, look what he did against the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Look what he did. And I went back and looked, and we'll dive deep into the quarterback battle here in a second, but just overall thoughts for the team right now. I'm going to hold off on Sam Darnold. The rest of the team, the defense, unbelievable. They hit on pretty much every draft pick on the defensive side of the football. Mike McDonald calling the shots there. Incredible head coach. We didn't know he was going to be this good. People passed up on him, namely the Falcons, but they passed up on, coincidentally, both of the guys that are in the Super Bowl. Maybe that's just a travesty of an organization. Probably is. But Mike McDonald, he has been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal, okay? It's an understatement to say he's been phenomenal to what he's done with the Seahawks in 2 years there, just turning that defense around. The draft picks hit, the players you bring in free agency. DeMarcus Lawrence might be the unsung hero of that defense, getting him in free agency, I believe, 2 years ago. He was awesome for the Cowboys there in Dallas for the 5-6 years. He was the number 1 guy there, and he's been great for the Seahawks defensive line. That they also got to revitalize Leonard Williams. That guy was going to be a top 10 player in the league when he was drafted in, what was that, 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. And then he didn't pan out, injuries here and there, bad team, whatnot. But now he's playing great football on this Seahawks defense. Virtually everybody's playing great defense on this Seahawks defense. The offensive side of the football, you got maybe the most underrated running back in football with Kenneth Walker. The dude is a little bowling ball. I still can't get over, I think this is 3 years ago now maybe, the run where he flipped over the guy. He did like a cartwheel around him, landed on him, did a backflip over him on the ground, spun around, and he was not down. Everybody thought he was down. Boom, runs down the field. And I can't remember if it was a touchdown or not, but it was a big play. And I'm still thinking that is one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. That's the running back they got. Then they had maybe the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's going to probably win, in my mind, Offensive Player of the Year in Njigba. And that's your offense. You look at the two teams roster-wise, and you think there's no way the Seahawks lose this football game. And there's no way. No way the Seahawks lose this football game. And you even look at the odds right now. 4.5 points for Seahawks. Not huge, but even in a regular season game, 4.5 it is pretty big for a regular season matchup, okay? But we all thought it was going to be Patriots-Seahawks. Hand up, I did. I called it way back when. I did not. Nobody thought we were getting Patriots-Seahawks, and the odds will tell you that as well. We're in San Francisco for this Super Bowl, or maybe not. We're not in San Francisco, are we? They just say, hey, we're the San Francisco 49ers, but we play an hour and a half away from San Francisco. I'm not a geography nut, but it's a little bit of an issue for me that we're calling the San Francisco Super Bowl when you're not even in San Francisco, okay? You're in the Bay Area, I get it. I think San Jose, whatever, Palo Alto, wherever it is down there in that bottom part of the Bay, okay? What are we doing? We cannot be calling this San Francisco Super Bowl, okay? It's not in San Francisco. It's an hour and a half away. Let's pump the brakes. They had Golden Gate Bridge on the Super Bowl graphic. This is nowhere near the Golden Gate Bridge. Just a little bit of an issue I have with Super Bowl 60 in the terms of calling it in San Francisco and with the 49ers. Okay, get the name, change it to the Palo Alto 49ers. I don't care, but you're not in San Francisco. You're not in San Francisco. I don't like it. Now let's talk QB versus QB, ladies and gentlemen. Look, we have May. Maybe going to be the MVP. I think I'm leaning towards he might be the MVP based on some people coming out saying, hey, I voted for Drake May. Then you got Sam Darnold, league leader in turnovers, as I mentioned earlier. But he also has his best performance of the season against the Rams 2 weeks ago. So he's probably feeling himself a little bit. He's probably feeling pretty good. Drake May is the second favorite for the Super Bowl MVP. He is second in the odds. Sam Darnold, first in the odds. So we got a quarterback matchup where you think these two guys are really going to win Super Bowl MVP. They're going to be the Super Bowl MVP. You look at the odds, that's how it's going to work, mainly because it's unfortunately a quarterback award. Now I'll get into this a little bit later when I give out some of the picks I like for Super Bowl MVP. It's probably a quarterback award, but maybe not this year. Okay, let's look at these two guys against great defenses. Now, in my mind, a great defense is your top 10 in scoring defense, your top 10 in yards per game. They're not moving the football, they're not scoring the football. That's the name of the game on the defensive side of the football. And there were 7 teams in the league that met both of these criteria. Now, coincidentally, both of these teams in the Super Bowl and the Seahawks and the Patriots are both in the top 10 in both of those categories. So we take away them. There's 5 teams, Houston, Denver, Kansas City, Minnesota, and the Chargers. Okay, those 5 teams all were top 10 defensively in scoring and then top 10 defensively in yards per game allowed. Now, we'll start with Drake May. Going up against those 5 defenses, he played 3 of them. Coincidentally, all in the playoffs. He did not play a top 10 defense, a top 5 defense in my mind, a great defense in my mind in the regular season. Didn't face one. He did not face a single one in the regular season. He's a rookie. He's not a rookie. He's a year 2 guy. Young guy. Didn't face a great defense in the regular season. Then he gets to the playoffs and he goes up against the Chargers in week 1. Okay, he was 17-29, 268, touchdown, interception. He also lost a fumble. So 1-2 in the turnover ratio there. Then the Houston game, we all know, wasn't great, but he did have the 3 touchdowns, but he also had 4 fumbles, lost 2 of them, and he threw a pick. So we're 3-3 there in the touchdown to turnover ratio. And then against Denver, it was in a blizzard for half of the game, so maybe we cut him some slack there. But against the 3 great defenses that Drake May has played this season, he has a 55% completion percentage, 177 yards per game, 1.3 touchdowns per game, and then 2 turnovers per game. And you have to factor in he loses another fumble per game against these great defenses, but they recover it. That may not go the same way against Seattle. So, all of that to say, not great from Drake May against great defenses. The guy has been great this year, not against great defenses. You're going against a great defense, maybe the greatest this season in the Seattle Seahawks. But we flip over to Sam Darnold. You think, well, okay, hey, Drake May, he doesn't have the stats against these great defenses. No way Sam Darnold does, right? No way. And you would be correct. Let's go through Sam Darnold this season against great defenses. They were both in the regular season. It was against Houston. It was against Minnesota. Against Houston, he was 17 of 31, 213, touchdown, interception, but he lost a fumble in that game. Against Minnesota, gross. They won this game against Minnesota 26-0, by the way. He was 14 of 26, 128 yards, and he lost a fumble. Okay, so you look at those averages, 55% completion percentage, 170 yards, a half a touchdown per game, and then 1.5 turnovers per game. So you look at their stats, both of them, against great defenses. They are the same exact guy. 55%, 170 yards, 1 touchdown per game, 2 turnovers per game. They're the same guy against great defenses. So essentially, we have a quarterback matchup that is the same. They're the same guy, okay? Maybe you get an edge here, you give an edge there. No. There's no edge for the quarterbacks in this football game. So that leads you to other things, especially for the Super Bowl MVP, okay? And this is what it all comes down to. It's going to go to the winner, okay? So who's it going to go to? Who's it going to go to? You would think the winning quarterback would be the Super Bowl MVP. History tells us that is the pick, okay? The winning quarterback of the team, Super Bowl MVP. Last 20 years, 70% of them have been quarterbacks, the Super Bowl MVP. 20% were wide receivers, 10% were linebackers, okay? Based on the stats I just read, I cannot believe, no way on this earth, in this time frame, for this Super Bowl, could I, in a million years, pick one of these two quarterbacks to win the MVP. They're not going to put up the stats to win an MVP. It's not happening. Drake May's not winning the MVP. And Sam Darnold's not winning the MVP. It's not happening, folks. Those stats are not going to get it done in a Super Bowl for the MVP, okay? So we're going to eliminate the quarterback from winning this MVP. That's my bold prediction right now. Quarterback's not winning this MVP award, okay? So that you eliminate the quarterbacks. That leads you to the wide receivers and the linebackers, okay? So I got some guys that I think maybe is going to be a good bet for the Super Bowl MVP in this game. Okay, so you eliminate quarterbacks. That leaves us Jackson Smith-Njigba, Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed. Okay, so those are the 5 wide receivers I think have a shot to win this Super Bowl MVP. Then you get Harold Landry for the Patriots, Nwosu for the Seahawks, and Drake Thomas for the Seahawks as well. Those are the 3 linebackers I think could possibly win this. You go to the odds for those guys. We got JSN at plus 550. I believe he's 5th on the board. On the overall board. And you got Stephon Diggs at plus 4,500, Rashid Shaheed plus 4,500. In my mind, you can eliminate Stephon Diggs from that thing. He's the same odds as Rashid Shaheed, but Shaheed gives you the advantage in special teams. He's got extra opportunities to possibly score. So I'm eliminating Stephon Diggs there. So Rashid Shaheed, if you're picking between those two guys, I'm going with Shaheed all day. Then you get Cooper Kupp at plus 10,000. This guy's already won a Super Bowl MVP. Could he do it again? Probably not. But the pick is there. Then you get Harold Landry, linebacker for the Patriots, at plus 30,000. Nwosu, linebacker for the Seahawks, plus 22,500. And then Drake Thomas, plus 35,000. Those are the value plays. Those are the picks you should be putting your money if you're trying to bet on the Super Bowl MVP, because it's not happening with the quarterbacks. This is going to be a defensive battle. Top 2 defenses in the league coming into this season. Maybe the Houston Texans are there as well. So at least top 3 with these 2 defenses right now with the way they're playing football. These quarterbacks, they're not going to get it done. They're not going to get it done. That's why I love a defensive MVP in this Super Bowl. I love a defensive MVP in this Super Bowl. It's only happened twice in the last 20 years. Okay, you had Von Miller, and then we had the Seahawks linebacker. Everybody forgets his name. Doesn't matter. We had the Seahawks linebacker and Von Miller. You could go defensive end, and some would say, well, Von Miller, he was a defensive end. He's listed as a linebacker. So you could maybe go with Lawrence there in this game to win the MVP, but I'm not sure he's going to rack up the sacks. I'm not sure, not the sacks. He would win it because of the sacks he gets. The tackles. I'm not sure he's going to have enough tackles in this game to win the MVP award. You could go Leonard Williams. I don't think he's going to get enough tackles. So I would lean one of those 3 linebackers I went with, Harold Landry, Nwosu, or Drake Thomas to win the MVP award. Maybe you go a guy in the secondary. Hasn't happened ever, so that's why you lean linebacker here for the Super Bowl MVP. So I know you came here for the pick, for the breakdown. It's going to be a defensive battle. I'm thinking lowest scoring game. Let's look at the spread for this football game. I believe it's 4.5 for the Seahawks. The pick for me, ladies and gentlemen, is a defensive MVP, and I love Nwosu. I think that would be my bet. I'm going to go with Nwosu, so I just spoiled it. I'm picking the Seahawks to win this football game. But the more and more I look at it, it's going to go either way. So give me the Patriots to cover the 4.5. Give me the Seahawks to win the game. Give me Nwosu as my MVP in this football game. And let's go over-under here. Super Bowl over-under. What is the over-under for the Super Bowl? I'm not even sure. The total. What's the total? I'm going to go under. Whatever it is. I think I would put it at like 41. 41, I think, would be a good line, and I haven't seen the line. I don't remember the line. So I'm going under. Whatever it is, I'm going to say that right now. Whatever, 45.5. Yeah, hammer the under. Hammer it. Boom, hammer it. And you could take the Patriots money. I would take Patriots money line if I were to bet instead of the spread against the Seahawks. But I like under 45.5 points. Seahawks to win, Patriots to cover, Patriots money line. Nwosu as the MVP. Stay away from the offensive guys. If you go offensive, go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I like that. And then probably Rashid Shaheed after that. That is the pick. That is the breakdown for this game. I think we're getting an all-time defensive battle, an all-time just disaster class from the quarterbacks in this football game. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you are new, subscribe down below and then follow at Ian Fritts Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as well. I love you guys. Bye.
Michigan State.